If the ocean had a mouth, I'd lean close, my ear to her whisper and roar, her tongue scattered with stars. Hi, I'm Helen Sword. This is Helen's Word, and those were the opening lines of Marie Elizabeth Molly's beautiful poem, If the Ocean Had a Mouth. For today's Wordcraft Workout, we're going to lean close and listen to the music of words that whisper and roar, or maybe just dribble and drone from our own mouths, our own writing. For this exercise, you'll need a sample of your own writing, several pages long, preferably printed out in hard copy so that you can mark it up with colored pencils or highlighters. So gather up your materials, and when you're ready, let's put your writing through a workout. For our Wordcraft workout today, we're going to do a deceptively simple exercise. We're going to listen to our own words and see what we can learn from them about how well our writing is working. I'm going to begin by reading aloud two examples from two different peer-reviewed philosophy articles. The first one comes from an essay about deception and intentional transparency in writing. Here goes. Lies and other forms of deceptive behavior degrade our characters, unravel the fabric of civil society, and threaten our progress toward the good life. The ideas being presented here are quite chunky and challenging, but the language is clear and compelling. And despite several multi-syllabic words like deceptive, behavior, characters, unravel, society, I find I have no trouble reading it out loud. Now here's another example. This one's from a philosophy article about writing and the disembodiment of language. A major consequence of all this, then, is that when language does appear, semantics, that is, meaning, is already anchored in this bodily conceptuality. Now, when I read that sentence aloud, I can literally feel in my body, in my mouth, as I speak, that something is wrong with this sentence. It's not communicating clearly. The syntax is confusing. There's a lot of repetition. The problem is not with the vocabulary. We can understand and make sense of polysyllabic words like consequence, semantics, bodily, conceptuality. Well, actually, conceptuality is a pretty abstract concept, and it's also a very long word, 6 syllables. But the real problem at the heart of this sentence has to do with its repetition of some very short monosyllabic words that get in the way of clear communication. Let's see and hear that sentence again. This time, I'll highlight just 3 words: this, that, and is. A major consequence of all this, then, is that when language does appear, semantics, that is, meaning, is already anchored in this bodily conceptuality. Reading the passage aloud for a second time, I could hear and feel and practically taste those repeated words. Whereas when I'm reading silently, my eye tends to just glide quickly over them. So now it's your turn. I invite you to read your writing sample out loud to yourself or to another person, or you could ask somebody else to read it aloud to you. Read very slowly And as you do, circle or highlight every single sentence that gets stuck in your mouth or curls up in confusion as it enters your ear, rather than conveying meaning clearly to the brain. Now, if you identify just a few problematic sentences in several pages of writing, chances are you'll already have a pretty good idea of how to fix them. Cut out repeated words, maybe shorten a very long sentence or cut it into 2 or 3 punchier ones. But if you found a lot of opaque, confusing sentences throughout your writing, you'll have your work cut out for you. And you'll probably want to take those sentences through some of the other Wordcraft workouts on this channel. For example, look for the one on noun-verb nuptials or predatory sentences. As you do this, just remember, editing is an art form, a craft. Rather than feeling frustrated by unwieldy sentences, try to bring some pleasure and pride to your wordcraft. Hone and polish your sentences so that they, like the voice of the ocean in that opening poem, can whisper and roar. Write as though your tongue were scattered with stars. Thanks for showing up to write, and I'll see you next time.